Hello and welcome. My name is HEDONA, electropop artist, music producer, and your inspirational gal pal. My newest song, HEDONA, just came out a few weeks ago. If you haven't listened to it yet, I have added all of the links below so you can listen and stream as many times as you'd like. I thought in celebration of the release, it would be fun to walk you through my Ableton session and show you how I produced the song. So for this song, I co-produced it with Olivier, and what I like to do for my songs, or what I have to do for my songs, is work on it myself before I bring it to anyone else, because I have such a strong vision of how I want my music to sound. Once I feel as though it's ready to be worked on by someone else, then I will bring it to that person. You'll notice that the sounds are a little sparser from what is in the final version. My vocals are also just scratch vocals, and that was to be a placeholder so I could actually produce the song out according to what I'm saying or what I've laid out. And with that, let's jump into Ableton. This is my session. It is a bit of a hot mess, just like me. Did I start production first? Did I start the lyrics first? No idea. Can't remember. I do know that the chorus did come first, and then that really fleshed everything else out. And then from the chorus, I think because I'm talking about Midas and all of these religious imagery, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have a preaching ceremony at the beginning? I don't know why. So that's why I'm talking at the beginning, and maybe it doesn't sound like a preaching ceremony, but that's how I came up with using organs and having a choir at the beginning. This is how the original sounds. Rise up and take my hand, for you are about to enter the house of Hedona. And this section is super sparse. I just want it to be very simple. And then transitioning from this intro to the verse, I don't know why, but I thought of heartbeats. I layered 4 sounds together, but here is how they all sound. As you can hear, each sample has its own function. For some of the samples, it's more punchy and has more high end. Another one has more low end depth to it. I had to process it so that they're all cohesive together. I EQ'd the high end off to give it more of that muted sound. Another EQ for the low end, compressed them together to glue it together, and then I clipped it with the saturator. Moving on to the verse, I don't have that many elements to it, but I really enjoy a spooky theremin, and I used Omnisphere to achieve that. In the verse, you can see I used a lot of long held out notes, and then the pre-chorus is just arpeggiated to give it a different sound. For the verse, I really didn't have that much. I have my theremin, a wobbly guitar, which I think we actually took out, 808s. I wanted that bounce. And then I used the same kicks as the heartbeat, except I removed one of the samples. And then I automated the EQ to come off in the verse because I didn't want it to be all muted. Some hats come in, and honestly, okay, so this is what I remember for my verse 1 lyrics. I remember being in meditation, and all of a sudden, the lyrics for the first verse just flooded into my brain. It's so hard to ignore me. Got your attention like a 3,000-foot tsunami. Delicate and intricate like origami. My target's locked on you. Kamikaze. Those words just came into my brain suddenly. I ran to write them down, and I really loved the imagery of it. I just felt it was super rich, super bold, and confident, and they all ended in E. And so I stuck with it. When I think of kamikaze, I think of World War II, I think of jet planes, I think of aggression and violence. This is the sound that I created for the kamikaze effect. First, I started with sublab, just a regular 808 sound. To get a much more high-pitched sound, what I did was I pitch bended directly in the clip to get this sound. And then I added some EQ and halftime on there. Not very exciting. Knowing that kamikaze is very aggressive, violent, warplane. So I grabbed one of my favorite plugins, Isotope Trash 2, and I found this heavy coughing metals. Already that added so much oomph to the sound. You could really hear the metal, you can hear that tinny sound, and it's much more aggressive. So I smoothed it out with an EQ just to roll off a lot of those frequencies that I didn't want. Compressed it, clipped it, saturated it with some decapitator. So I wanted to thicken it up, and that's where decapitator came in super handy. And I don't really know what this micro shift does, but that also fattened it up. Oh, I think it's a phaser. Yeah, I think that's a phaser. More EQ, just to roll off some of the rumbly ends. Then there was plate reverb and then Valhalla reverb. And it just sounds so good. I love it. Pre-chorus is really stripped back. Again, we have the theremin. We have some strings going on. At the time, I only had labs, but I've since upgraded to some nicer strings. But Olivier was able to add these beautiful orchestral elements. He added some strings, he added timpani, he added a whole bunch of things that I can't really remember. We have snares, we have 5 snares in here, and vocals, and that's pretty much it. Oh, bow down when I grace your sight. My vocals were also much more fleshed out, so that added some more body to everything. Had a lot more vocal stacks and harmonies. And then for the chorus, again, this is gonna sound pretty different. I feel your love and adoration. Don't need your praise or applause, 'cause I'm the sparkle in you. I feel your love and adoration. Don't need your praise or applause, 'cause I'm the sparkle in your eye. Got that golden touch. The biggest difference, I had 4 organ sounds layered together, and Olivier really pushed those back and added an LFO to the song to give it some more movement and some more bounce so that the other elements could really shine through. For this song, we really focused on the drums and the bounce throughout the chorus. He also added those drum strums, which add a really nice texture to the song. Again, more doubles and vocal stacks for the harmonies to really flesh it out. The entire chorus just sounds so much more polished and elevated than what I have here, but that's the whole point of collaboration. Going into the sessions with Olivier on this song, I really wanted Olivier to actually give me a new post-chorus section because I just didn't think these breaths were interesting at all. Funny enough, when I brought it to him, he thought, oh wow, this is super creative. And in my mind, I just didn't have the heart to tell him, oh, I had no idea how to transition from the chorus to the verse, and that's why I left all this space. So it's really funny how he really loved the idea and really leaned into it versus I thought, oh, this is just a random idea. I want him to change it. Sometimes we think our ideas aren't good enough, but actually to someone else, they're super creative. So just lean into those moments. That's what I'm learning now, is to just lean into something, see if it fits, and if it doesn't, then try something else. I also really love choirs, so when in doubt, I always add a choir. Moving on, verse 3. The only difference is that I added a drum line. I love drum lines. They just sound super empowering and powerful. I was forged in the fire. Each strike in the flame stoked my desire. I just took some samples. I cut them down a bit to 1 bar, then added some one shots to get this section in there. And then the breakdown, I think this is my favorite section of the entire song. Honestly, it's super simple. All I have are hats, snares, and then all of these fun effects that I made. And I'm really proud of this breakdown. I think it's cool and sexy and interesting and fun. If I do not save everything that I worked on to get these sounds, I will not remember how I did it because this was from so long ago. It's a little creepy and unsettling, which I love. I compressed it and then I added some isotope trash to it. Again, love this plugin. This is what it sounds like. So it really adds this extra texture. Again, there's some sort of metallic sound to it, and then it's wider as well. And then I added some halftime to really smooth it out and bring it down. Once I bounced that as well, I got this sound. I called it creepy sound. I cut it and then I added some echo from Ableton's stock plugin. And then with Murda Melodies plugin, I added some width and then some saturation, another little plate, and then some tremolator from Sound Toys. I'm not sure why I wanted a growl on here. I found on Splice this zombie dog growl sound effect. And that's actually how I end the song as well. I think I just really like the sound effect. So still creepy. I wanted to add more textures, just ear candy, you know? And so another one of my favorite plugins is Crystallizer by Sound Toys. It's a granular echo synthesizer. So it makes all these interesting crystals, as they call it. Here, I'll just play it for you. This plugin is resampling the sample to make those extra sounds that come out. And I just love the effect that it has on this section, on a song, on a sample. It's just a lot of fun to play around with. Then I compressed it, EQ'd it, and then saturated it with Decapitator. And then, again, I just don't even know how I got this waveform. I must have warped and manipulated this somehow. So sometimes I'll just like randomly repitch or do a tones thing, on a clip, and then I'll resample it. Then I'll add some other plugins to it and then stretch it. Maybe I did that for this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember. I also don't have any plugins on here, so I must have done something to get this super cool sound that I called low horn. Next time I'm just gonna have to save everything so that I could show you guys. But essentially, you know, for sound design, it's really fun to just play around and see what sounds you can get, layer them on top of each other, and just you can get a super fun breakdown. I feel your love and adoration, don't need your praise or applause, 'cause I'm using the same melody from the chorus, so that was easily brought back in to the chorus. And then as I was recording final vocals for the song, I ended my vocals after singing the chorus 2 more times. As I was recording final vocals, the lines, "You can call me Midas or even a goddess. Everything I touch is gold, never had to sell my soul, can never be replaced. Abundance I create. I am Hedona and I love you. Welcome to my..." I think that happened within 5 to 10 minutes. The lyrics came super quickly, but I thought it was fun how it tied everything together. Yes, I'm repeating certain lines or words from the song, but it was done to kind of bring things in full circle. I really like that section. I like it. So it's funny how things can come to you very last second. Even after you think a song is done, you can just find some more inspiration to add to the song. That's pretty much how I produced Hedona. Olivier just added so much more when he came into the picture and laid his hands on the song. It was really cool being able to see someone else work and bring their magic to the table and just see what other ideas he brings. Once again, you can check out the song if you want to hear the final version and compare it to this version. I hope you enjoy the song. I'm really proud of it. I really love it, and I think it's super fun. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel. I'm still a very new creator to YouTube, and I would appreciate all the support I can get. It really makes me feel even more motivated to keep creating and keep making videos for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. You can call